Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on KREM 2 News at 6 o'clock. I'm Tom Sherry. Mark and Whitney have the evening off. Well, the Reardan School District calls it a difficult but necessary decision to hold classes remotely this week. Why? They don't have enough healthy teachers and bus drivers to keep the schools open. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk found out just how challenging the last few days have been.
Well, yeah, Tom, last week, roughly 27% of Reardan students were absent with COVID and other illnesses. Over the weekend, 6 elementary school teachers called out sick, along with several bus drivers. Superintendent Eric Sabata says he has no choice but to keep students home this week. Remote learning can be challenging for some students because they don't have reliable internet. Sabata says 35% of families have limited to no connectivity and homes rely on satellite internet. Now, the district acquired a $700,000 grant to connect 90 families recently. This week, 2 Wi-Fi buses will be parked to let students log on.
We don't want to go remote. It's the last thing we want to do, but we have to. And so we're going to make the most of it, and hopefully we'll be back next week.
And families can also opt in for a daily meal service. Paraeducators and bus drivers will be delivering those meals. Reardan schools are also desperate for substitute teachers. Anyone interested is asked to contact the district office. While a teaching certificate helps, it is not required right now. Tom?
Thank you very much. Well, a rise in pediatric COVID cases. Schools are closing down or they're going remote. And Idaho could be on the brink of going back to crisis standards of care. Omicron is ripping its way through the inland Northwest, and the data backs it up. Spokane County's case rate sits at 1,749 per 100,000 residents. It's harder to get accurate numbers in Idaho, while they're reporting about 60 cases per 100,000 residents. The Panhandle Health District says that that doesn't give the full picture. About 22,000 cases statewide are still pending results due to a backup in the labs. The COVID cases we're seeing now are record-breaking, and the demand for tests right now are in line with what we saw at the beginning of the pandemic, and there still isn't enough supply. Our own Ian Smay spoke with some of those trying to get a test, as well as the local health district. He has more on why tests are hard to come by.
Spokane County has broken its own single-day case record multiple times as the highly contagious Omicron variant has become the dominant strain of coronavirus. At the same time, people are struggling to find appointments to get tested for COVID-19, and the Spokane Regional Health District said it comes down to a supply problem. The line at the Spokane Falls Community College testing site started to wrap around itself at times on Monday. One man told KREM he was able to find an appointment easily. Others had a harder time.
It was pretty difficult, actually. I looked online. I didn't have anything publicly available until Friday, and obviously that's not going to work. It needs to be immediate.
According to the booking website, the Spokane Falls free testing location is fully booked until Thursday. Its sister location at the Spokane County Expo Center had some appointments open up with short notice on Monday afternoon. But after that, the soonest available appointment was again not until Thursday. Those in line at the Spokane Falls site felt the frustrations of finding a test.
Pretty difficult in our area. We're out from Moon Lake and everybody's out at the tests. Or it's pretty much an all-day wait, so I had to come out to the college.
The free public testing sites aren't the only ones booked up. At about 10:30 Monday morning, all Walgreens locations in Spokane County except for one were out of drive-through tests. It was a similar story for Rite Aid, with the next available appointment being offered at 10 a.m. on January 24th. And even for those willing to pay for a COVID-19 test through a medical provider, it hasn't been simple.
I called the doctor's office. They're 2 weeks out. The urgent care is, a few days out?
Yeah.
And then I even tried calling Rite Aid, and
no one has any.
Nobody has anything.
According to Spokane Regional Health District spokesperson Kelly Hawkins, the problem is caused by testing supplies not keeping up with the increasing demand. She said this has been the case for a couple of weeks now. The health district hopes that the federal program offering at-home tests starting this Wednesday will partially help with the problem. That program allows people to order up to 4 at-home tests per household through the website covidtest.gov. She also said the health district is waiting to hear back on efforts being made to create more testing availability in the area. Discovery Health runs the testing sites at Spokane Falls Community College and the Spokane County Expo Center. Hawkins said they are trying to create more testing availability by hiring more people in an attempt to extend the operating hours at the testing sites. Those jobs are posted on Discovery Health's website. In the newsroom, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.
Well, there are signs that the Omicron variant may be at its peak in some parts of the country. Case counts are cresting in the Northeast, where the virus first surfaced in the United States. The numbers are leveling off in places like New York, Boston, New Jersey, and Maryland. New predictions from University of California say the odds an asymptomatic person in the United States has COVID near the peak is about 10%. So what does that mean? It means if you enter a room with about 20 people, there's an 88% chance that one of them has COVID.
What Omicron did is it caused an incredible wall of immunity. It means unvaccinated people got it. People who are vaccinated even got it.
If you'd like to know where to get a COVID test or more on Omicron spread in the inland Northwest, text the word COVID to 509-448-2000. We'll send a link right to your phone. Taking a break from the headlines. A nice dry day again here in the inland Northwest. And gosh, it was great to see a little sunshine over the weekend. We've got meteorologist Thomas Patrick. He's joining us now to tell us if we've got any snow or rain on the way this week. Thomas.
Yeah, we might, especially this Thursday. Definitely a rainy looking event, but we'll see how the snow plays out by then. In the meantime, still keeping an eye on any kind of fog that might once again develop for tonight, though the chance is a little bit lower than the last couple days. And we went from an awesome sunset about an hour ago to the full moon now shining just off to the east, which would be to the right side of our outdoor weather center. 35 now, mostly clear skies. Haven't seen much fog develop as of this hour, but there are a handful of freezing fog advisories off to our south, including down in Dayton, Walla Walla, and out towards Yakima, but no dense fog advisories for Spokane. So it's probably going to be a lot more of the patchy variety as opposed to widespread dense fog like we've seen several of the previous evenings. Also some light rain between Pullman, Moscow, and out towards north central Idaho. Small disturbance just lingering in this part of the inland Northwest. It'll be there for tomorrow as well. So we'll show you that. Lookout Pass looking fine, maybe just some wet conditions due to some earlier snowfall today. But again, the fog is likely going to be the most immediate concern, but we are tracking that storm system for this upcoming Thursday. So we'll show you the latest details in that part of the forecast, all coming up in a few moments.
Thank you, Thomas. New at 6 o'clock tonight. 2 people are critically injured after an explosion near Feltz Field. A man and a woman were taken to the hospital with critical injuries. According to Spokane Fire, they were staying in a homeless camp with roughly about 40 other people. The 2 were using a camping stove inside their tent. Well, that's when gas started building up and the tent exploded with the 2 people inside. We've just finished an interview with Spokane Fire Chief Brian Schaefer, and we'll bring you that interview tonight on KREM 2 News at 10 and 11. Also new at 6 o'clock tonight, a couple and their dog barely made it out when their home slid off its foundation. This all happened in Bellevue, Washington. Several nearby homes are inaccessible. Families are being told to stay the night elsewhere. Right now, the cause of that slide is unclear. The neighborhood is located in the southern part of Bellevue. Kayla Lafferty with our sister station in Seattle talked to the couple who owns the house. She has more on how they're feeling tonight.
You ever have a dream that you're in a dream and you think when I wake up this will all go away? I still feel like I haven't woken up.
A dream turned nightmare for John Surdy. He was woken up to what he describes as a river rushing down his driveway. He got up and got into his truck to try and find the source of the water, and just moments later, a call from his neighbor sent his world crashing down.
Rajib, one of our neighbors, called me and said, "John, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what's going on?" He said, "Your house just fell down." And I thought, is this April Fool's? This can't, how can this be happening? And
John's wife, Barbara, was asleep in their bed on the top floor of the home when she heard a boom.
I flew out of the bed and the dresser, the bed, everything, I guess the house collapsed is what it was, and it went like that.
Barb was thrown against the wall from the force of their home crumbling below her. John, meanwhile, knew his wife and golden retriever Marty were trapped inside.
it was like going up a mountain with a river running down the side of the boulders everywhere and rocks and trees. And I got up to the top of the cul-de-sac and I ran up and I'm screaming, "Barb, Barb," and she was inside and she was screaming.
John climbed through a hole in the side of his house and found his wife and dog stuck on the top floor with nowhere to go.
We're on the top floor and then we can't get down because there wasn't any staircase.
With the aid of Bellevue police, they got Barb and Marty down and out to safety.
we're lucky to be alive. That is for sure.
While physically okay, the Surdys are now navigating how to move forward after losing everything.
It's not the house, it's everything that's in it.
Yeah. It's the memories.
Everything's in it and they won't let us back in. I need to get back into our house.
That was Kayla Lafferty reporting. The Surdys are staying with their son for the time being, but the next big concern is how John can continue his carpet cleaning business as the slide destroyed his trucks and supplies. The search for what caused all of this is still ongoing. Nurses in Washington say they need help, and that's why they're now turning to the legislature. The bills they're hoping will help ease their burden. Next. Plus later, Spokane Sheriff is on the hunt for a serial streaker. That's coming up later in our newscast.